Of course, as you get older, you hope and pray that you get a bit wiser, don't you? And you try to learn from the mistakes and the positions you've put yourself in.
Cheeky big chappy, and it didn't matter what you were saying to him, he just stood and grinned at you.
You could see he was going to go right to the top.
Yeah, smile. Try to smile.
Big Dunk seen it, done it, got a T-shirt for just about everything you could handle.
Everton and Scotland footballer Duncan Ferguson is tonight behind bars at Glasgow's Barlinnie prison.
The reason why I went to prison because they convicted me on that pitch. I'd never been in prison to this day.
For all his misdemeanours on and off the field, they love him here. And no question, he's an outstanding player.
He was a terrific player to play alongside. He was a brilliant leader. He wanted to lead you into battle.
I think in the air, there wasn't many could get me.
I think he'll be remembered as a really, really good player, a centre-forward that was feared.
Tricky. I wasn't tricky.
Everybody associates Big Dunk with Everton and Everton with Big Dunk.
You know, I love being a Blue. I just love the club, I love the people, I love how they've been with me. So I'm incredibly proud to be an Evertonian. I lived in a tenement, right, with me and my two sisters in the one room, right, my mum and dad in another one. So this side of the tenements was all the tenements, right, all the concrete and everything. That's where we played footy. The space is absolutely insane. It's about from there to there, and all these families lived in them. God bless him, Walter Smith basically got me to Dundee United. Walter, the great man, came down to a trial game and he picked me up right away. And I got my apprenticeship, and I think then the first year I was a bit under the radar because I wasn't breaking into the team because I was big and skinny, couldn't run. I was leggy, big daddy long legs, you know, that's what I was like. I just couldn't run. You know, you don't know what a daddy long legs is, do you? You know, the big insect thing that flies about, big long legs. And I used to get called Yaz. You know about that song? The only way is up. Yaz and the Plastic Populace. I can't sing by now.
They wanted to play against the roughest players, the dirtiest players. He always thought he came out on top. 9 times out of 10 he did.
He was anything but just being a target man. He had the lot. You could see he was going to go right to the top.
In my opinion, at the moment, he's as good as anything in the Premier League. At times, as all the young people are at the moment, they find it difficult to listen to people, especially somebody as old as myself.
There was times Jim McLean would take him out training and just absolutely run his legs off him. And Big Dunk would just laugh at him at the end of the training session.
So it was always a case of, right, who's doing this, who's doing that? Well, that's Fergie's job. Big Dunk. Where is he? Well, where do you think he'll be? He'll be on the snooker table again, so we had to run up. Come on, the manager's looking for you.
Okay, smile. Try to smile.
I didn't care. It didn't matter to me. You know what I mean? I was fearless. It didn't bother to me how tough he was. But it was a tough time for other players, and maybe for my wage packet, because I kept on getting fined all the time, right? Because I kept on doing daft things, because that's why I was a big daft laddie. They'd give me jobs, and I would cut corners. So they'd give me a job of going on the kit. And back then, right, see in the kit, there was no numbers. So you just had a big black marker. I'd do the washing, right? And there'd be a big tumble dryer, massive, like a big thing, big industrial thing like that. But if they come out, you'd be looking for a sock. Right, so let's say it's 17. So you pull out a sock, it's 17, you know what I mean? And you've got a sock, you can't find another sock because it's in another wash. So you couldn't be bothered, could you, waiting? I'm looking for the number 7 now. So I've looked for 7 and I'm putting the black marker down to make it 17. So now they've got 2 socks with 17 on it. Great times, man. Another fine. Another fine.
Woman, chances on here. Oh, a marvellous goal by Duncan Ferguson.
Everybody was hearing big things about this centre-forward, an old-fashioned centre-forward at Dundee United. He's only 18, 19. I think the thing that Dunk knew was he was a major asset for the club, and Jim knew that as well.
My dad was a Rangers man, so you follow your dad 99% of the time. Whoever your dad supports, you'll support. And yeah, it was a great move for me at the time.
4.5 million. And at that time, that was a lot of money, like for a Scottish club especially. As Big Dunk will tell you, I think he built that stand over there.
That's the Duncan Ferguson stand. That's what he tells everybody. We always used to have a little joke when we met up was, Duncan's got the biggest stand. He would say, well, the wee stand at the side of the dugout, Alec, he says, that's your stand because you were only 750. I was millions of pounds. So he says, that's my stand. And he says, probably had to use a bit of my money as well to build your stand.
They had a strike force in Ali McCoy, so Mark Haitley. They were the two main strikers, I remember.
You know, he was a big fish here, and he became a small fish at Rangers. And I think he struggled with that.
I thought nothing at the time, not a thing. Played the game, incident happened. I grazed him, I squared up to him. There was contact, I never ever denied that. I wish the referee had sent me off or gave me a yellow card, because I think then that the whole thing wouldn't have happened. The referee never saw the incident. I played on, I think I scored my first goal for Rangers that day. Then all of a sudden, you see the headlines in the morning, headbutt, headbutt. That's when the problems all started, because I was on probation for other things than what happened in younger. So there was no complaint for the lad next day. There was 40,000 fans witnessing the incident. There was referees, there was 200 police there. Not one person mentioned an assault. It was absolute disgrace what happened to me. But this one man, who was a procurator fiscal, who was in the judicial system, knew. He must have watched it on the television, and he knew if I got done for that, I was breaking my probation. And that's exactly what happened.
With a lengthy SFA ban pending and a court case due in January, Rangers negotiated a 3-month loan deal with Everton.
Probably a relief to get away out of Scotland at the time and come to the English Premier League and start over.
Joe Royle, the Everton old boy, back on Merseyside. What a showdown for him to have for his first match in charge.
It was Big Joe's first game. Big Joe was obviously a legend of the football club, who'd been a wonderful player. To come to the club in his first game for Everton as a manager.
The goal, Ferguson! His first for Everton. Oh, what relief for Joe Royle.
He scored against Liverpool. We don't beat them very often, do we?
And Everton can celebrate victory under Joe Royle, his first match in charge.
It was a big moment in my career, and it put us on a fantastic run. Big Joe's first 3 games were beating Liverpool out there. We beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and we beat Leeds out there.
And there's a goal! And a very unusual celebration. And Ferguson has repeated what he did here against Liverpool.
And that propelled us right up the league.
5 straight home wins, remember. They're getting accustomed to success in their own stadium. Ferguson! He's broken them down! The new favourite here, and how? Duncan Ferguson.
There's no question that I found a bit of extra in me for somewhere to play against these teams. Or maybe I just like taking my shirt off, I don't know.
A tremendous tonic for Everton. 3 priceless points. Ferguson is the name here. Everton's Ferguson.
Within 3 or 4 months, he was a cult hero there, wasn't he? He was scoring goals for fun. The move to Rangers, for me, was a poor one. The move to Everton was a fantastic one.
We're going to record this as well.
Joe knew how to manage players. He knew that he had somebody a wee bit different than me. And you have to be managed a wee bit different from some of the other ones. For instance, the night I scored that goal against Liverpool, my first goal, Joe didn't need to play me that night. And maybe he shouldn't have. I'd got in a bit of trouble 24 hours before it. And Joe showed his wisdom and experience by putting me in. And it come off for us. And then again in the cup final in '95, I was coming back for a double hernia and I was not fit. But Joe showed his experience. He said, no, we'll put you on the bench and we give him something to think about.
Ferguson getting ready. He's become an idol in his relatively short time up at Goodison Park.
Joe showed his experience in the 2 occasions where a younger manager probably wouldn't have.
And there it is, the cup held aloft.
He saved us for relegation, pushes away from the bottom of the league, and we won the cup. No bad, is it? fantastic. I'm putting a smile on my face thinking about it. Just not the cup run, but all the nights out that we had as a team. There's no phones then. You got away with all kinds back then. Fantastic. I wish I had some of the footage now. I'd be a wealthy man.
You nervous, Duncan? What do you think about the prospect of going to jail?
Everton and Scotland footballer Duncan Ferguson is tonight behind bars at Glasgow's Barlinnie prison.
Excited, believe it or not. I'm going and thinking, you know what, let's see what this prison's all about. I can handle myself, let's get in there. I've watched the movies. Maybe it's like the movies. But of course, deep down inside you, you're terrified. Because when you walk in there, you're on your own. You're on your own. And when you're in that prison, no matter who you are, you can be a potential victim. So any sign of weakness that you're going to show, they're going to get on that. Anything. You've got to watch your back at all times. All times.
Duncan! Duncan!
It was frightening. And sometimes I think to myself how on earth I got through it. But I did.
Ferguson served 44 days behind bars. He still has 9 games of a 12-match suspension imposed by the Scottish FA to serve.
They gave me the 12-game ban before the actual case happened. So obviously there's big headlines, isn't there? Ferguson gets found guilty, 12-game ban. So I saw in the news before I even go to the court. No, that's not fair, is it? Should have been to the court case first. A 12-game ban. Then I get 3 months in the prison. And then you come out, and guess what? They want you to serve the ban. So I'd served about 1 or 2 games. I think I'd moved south by then.
The cloud hanging over Duncan Ferguson's season has now been lifted. Everton's lawyers appealed against their player's 12-match ban.
I took the SFA to court in Edinburgh, and they agreed with me. They said that, no, that's enough. That's enough now. I never served that ban. I won my case.
He joined the football club in times of trouble, when Everton were really struggling. Won a trophy, kept Everton in the Premier League with the goals he scored. And when you've got somebody scoring goals in the manner that he does, celebrating with such passion, sort of encapsulating what the fans are feeling in the stands, he's showing that feeling on the pitch.
We all knew he had a strong enough character to build his reputation again. It shows just what we missed as a national team that we could have had, because Big Dunk was playing at the top of his game when he went down there.
That is the biggest regret in my career, is not playing for my country. I was pig-headed and I was stupid and I was young. But I was right. What happened to me was wrong. My heart wasn't in it. Because the guys who gave me the 12-game ban were shaking my hands, going round the dressing room and shaking my hands. And you know what? I was bitter. That's the reason why I never played for my country. I wish I had have, because I was 20 when I made my debut, I think. They asked me for 14 years. For 14 years they asked me to play for my country, even till I was 34 and running out of contract at Everton. When I was coming to the end, I'd have been starting for Scotland. I've only got 7 caps. Nobody will ever remember Duncan Ferguson, the Scottish national team, but yet I would have been the best one. I should have been the best one. I should have put my name in the history books, and I never, because I was young and stupid.
Jones gets good control from Ferguson. Great turn! Oh, what a goal by Duncan Ferguson! And in the early weeks of the season, this is the centre forward they're all talking about. Michael's lost it and Ferguson scored again! He's tormenting Manchester United!
Mr. Sitter later on, but Mr. Hat-trick later on, Mr. Sitter. And I'm telling you, I can't remember anybody ever scoring a hat-trick at Old Trafford.
It's Ferguson for the hat-trick! Oh, world-class goalkeeping!
A minute to go to make us 3-2. Keeps me up at night, that. You think about the negatives all the time, don't you, sometimes in your life? You think about what you could have been, what should have been. You know, and the ball's come across me like that, and I had too much time to think about it. I should have buried my left foot. I should have just went bang. I mean, I think I was better when I had much time to think about it.
Good afternoon from a very jittery Goodison Park, with one of England's most famous clubs, Everton, facing relegation and an end to their 44-year stay in the top flight.
The game I played in against Coventry out there, I was physically sick in the car park. I was the captain, and imagine me being the captain taking this team down. You'd have been thinking about it every day for the rest of your life. But I was the captain. I was the talisman really, and everybody was looking at me, and I was playing my best football at that time.
Farrelly helping this one forward. Ferguson nodding it back. Farrelly could have a go here. It's not a bad effort, it's a goal!
We managed to get over the line with a Gareth Farley miss kick. It wasn't a miss kick, Gareth, but it was a great setup for me. So I knocked it down to him and he sliced across the ball. And Gareth will always be remembered for that goal.
And across comes Alex Cullen.
He always says to this day that I still owe him a bottle of champagne, that he got me the move. And I used to say, well, I think maybe 130 games for Rangers, winning titles, winning Scottish Cups, you know, I think that maybe contributed as well, Dunk, to me getting a move to Everton. No, but I got you. I sent Howard and Adrian up to watch you. To this day, I think I still owe him a bottle of champagne for that, but he'll get it eventually.
If I was fit, any time I was fit, I was fine, no problems. And actually, when I was that 1998, when I was fit, that's when Newcastle come on from it.
I never forget the day when he came to me and said to me, says, I'm leaving. I could never see Duncan leave Everton. You know, I was absolutely sure. I was gutted as well, because I knew what we were going to miss as a club.
I wish to confirm the transfer of Duncan Ferguson from Everton Football Club to Newcastle United. The fee was
I never asked for the transfer, no. I never asked for the transfer. The club wanted to sell me. I was a saleable asset. At the time, this is the spiel, this is the story. How true the story is, you never know. But the club were looking for money because the banks were closing in, because they said they were skint. Peter Johnson at the time, struggling for money. The word is they needed £8 million very quickly. How true it all is, but I'm pretty sure it's no far off the mark. I was a saleable asset, and that's why they cashed in.
I think that he's very underestimated as a player, especially because teams will use him only because of his height, but he has more talents than that. Good left foot, good technique also.
He was actually the first manager that actually said to the team, I don't want the ball to his head, just drop it into him, drop it into him, drop it into him. He'll control it and he'll lay it off.
Solano's cross towards Ferguson! The script was written, and Duncan Ferguson starts his career in black and white with a goal in front of the home crowd.
Great club, great fans. Me and Alan Shearer up front were unstoppable for about 3 or 4 months, I remember.
Little flick from Shearer. Ferguson! What a goal!
It's early days for me and Duncan. He's had horrendous luck with injuries. He's a fantastic player. He's a great outlet for us. He works his socks off, and as he's seen today, he's a big threat, and we can work together.
Unfortunately, the wheels come off me. I got injured, as I normally did, and I never really quite got myself back fit, you know.
More newspaper talk about Duncan Ferguson. He's got the record straight for us.
We have still a bit to do with Newcastle in terms of the overall fee, but we're quite close to that. And we are currently in discussion with the players' representative as personal terms.
And this is the moment that Goodison Park has been waiting for. Mark Hughes comes off, and Duncan Ferguson comes home.
Yeah, coming back home, I wouldn't have moved anywhere other than to Everton. So when Bobby Robson come to me and say to me, look, Newcastle want to get the £4 million back for you, I had a 4-year contract left. I walked away and left that money, so they got obviously another 4 or 5 million quid for me because I walked away from my salary.
Here's Duncan Ferguson! The goal they wanted, the goal he wanted.
Big Dunk's coming back to rally the troops.
And Ferguson scores Everton's fourth. The man who has the badge of this club tattooed to his heart.
Did he sit in the same spot? I'm sure he did. He retained that place. I think that maybe that seat got put out of commission when Dunk left, and you know, nobody else got to sit there. This was Fergie's seat. You can't sit there.
But Duncan was all attitude and atmosphere, and he was a player and a leader that I don't think he gave you the opportunity to give anything less than 100%.
Duncan Ferguson, boldly selected again tonight, was the last man to score an Evertonian winner against United more than 10 years ago.
Well, it was a big night for us against Manchester United in 2005.
My last big goal was against Manchester United out there to basically put us into the Champions League spot.
It was a result we needed. It was a performance we needed as well. David Moyes knew he needed Big Duncan to be leading the line that night.
It's in! It's Ferguson! The big man leapt, the big man pounced, and Everton, chasing the Champions League, are ahead!
And we were fantastic that night. What an atmosphere. And of course, to get the winner 10 years on, for when I took my shot off that first time, it was actually 10 years on, I think, for that 1-0 victory to that one, you know. And I'd got the winners in both the games. Written in the stars it was.
Big Dunk has been given the captain's armband, leading to much speculation. It will be his Everton farewell.
I was playing the full 90 minutes, I was taking cramp in my calves, I was a mess, and we got a penalty with a minute to go.
Tata, it goes down, and this time it will be a penalty.
We're getting beat 2-1, and some bright spark decides to turn round and hand me the ball.
And guess who stepped forward to take this penalty kick? Duncan Ferguson.
Of course, I'm turning away, going, no, I don't want to go anywhere near this. But the fans see it, they start screaming your name. Well, you're on the spot then, aren't you? You're in the big chair then. And every negative thought in my mind was going through my mind at the time. You're going to miss, my God. I was petrified, shaking like a leaf, hit probably the worst penalty you've ever seen.
It's Ferguson, denied!
When I look back now, I nearly ruined for him, because once the keeper made the save, I was trying to get onto the rebounds, and you know, I actually in the end did well to get out of his way.
And somebody that day up there must have been smiling on me. And I think that was my last touch of the ball on Goodison.
He was a brilliant servant to the club as a football player. Obviously went on to represent in coaching and even management.
Having been a formidable number 9, Duncan Ferguson now finds himself a temporary number 1.
Probably the proudest moment I've ever experienced being the manager. It was just, it's the pinnacle, isn't it?
I remember his team talk before was so passionate, and it felt like a huge occasion, which it was. We were in a bad place, but to have someone like Dunk leading us out was special for us, but also special for him.
You know, to get that adrenaline again, you thought you'd never going to hit again in your life.
He brought us all together. Like, I know we'd had a tough time, obviously that's why we lose managers, but Dunk brought everyone together straight away.
We're in the bottom 3. We're fighting relegation.
Sidibe's ball in, and Richarlison gives Duncan Ferguson's Everton the perfect start.
Everton fans will always support the football club, of course they do, but they were supporting me that day as well. The players were just incredible. The players, man, my God. They made more tackles than any Everton team in 10 years that day.
It's Fergie time. A change of the helm, an immediate change in fortunes.
As happy as we were to win the game, we were probably even more happy for him.
It was an incredible day. It was incredible.
If Duncan had the last fiver in his wallet, he would give you it.
His kindness from when we was in the youth team and we were able to go out on a Saturday night, we'd always look for him because he'd give us money when we didn't have any.
It's brilliant.
From seeing him here as a kid, develop him, go to Rangers and get stuck, and then go to Everton and grow into what he became was amazing for me.
I finished at 34 and I finished in the Premier League, and I could have stayed in the Premier League. I had a number of other offers, but I wanted to remember myself as an Everton player.